Alright, hello. This is John Brown again. We're going to do a quick tutorial on the drawing the hand. So I'm going to get a layer here in Photoshop. Hand is something that my students have a lot of difficulty doing. So I'm just going to do a quick one here. Hopefully keep it within about 10 minutes. So first thing I do on a hand is I delineate the palm. Right? So this is going to be a straight on view. I'm basically just going to go a square. You could do a circle if you wanted to, right? I'm going to divide that in half, divide it in half again on either side. This is going to be my knuckle right here. This is going to be the middle finger knuckle. It's going to be a little higher. This is going to be the forefinger. This is going to be the ring finger, and this is going to be the pinky. I've got a nice kind of arc going on there. And then I'm going to bring this out a little bit like that. I'm going to continue, kind of follow that arc there. This is going to be the knuckle on my thumb. Right, so here's the center of it. This is where everything is going to originate. All the bones right here are going to come on down to here and originate right here in the middle of my wrist. Okay, I can round that off like that. So the distance I go from here, from the base of the hand right here to the knuckles right here, I'm going to do that same distance up here. That's basically going to be the length of my finger, and I'm going to round that off a little bit, right? So it's all kind of originating here from this pivot point right here. So my middle finger is going to be here. My index finger is going to be right here. My ring finger is going to be here, and my pinky is going to be here. So obviously the ring finger is going to be slightly shorter than this finger. The pinky is going to be there. I might even do my erase, get a little bit of that down there. Okay, so now if I take the middle point of these fingers right here, again from this pivot point right there, I go all the way around like that. That's basically where my thumb's going to stop. And if you take a look at your hand, you're going to see this in action. And I'm going to have the digit right there. So I'm going to go there. I might extend this a little bit, extend this a little bit. It's looking a little bit small there. Okay. So then I've got three basic pads on my hand. I've got a pad that goes right here. Right. It's divided right here. So you've got one. You got like a tiny little pad right here, and then you got this pad right here that goes with your thumb. So I've got this kind of volume here. I've got this volume here. And I've got this volume here. So generally when I'm simplifying hands, I basically go with these kind of three volumes here. And then this is the V right here in the center of the hand. And then I always get this tendon down here, and then I bring my wrist down. So this obviously is the front view of the hand, right? Now, if I take this and I do a 3/4 view of the hand, right? I basically take this same form right here. I'm going to start off with my palm, right? If I go like that, actually, I'm going to widen it out slightly, so we're more like this, right? And I'm going to do kind of like a 2-point perspective down to there, right? So I've got that first knuckle, this knuckle right here. I've got that knuckle there, and if I divide this in half, ba-bam. So I've got one knuckle here. I'm going to have the other knuckle here, which is going to be my middle finger. I'm going to have this, and I'm going to have my pinky there. Comes up. I'm going to have my thumb right there. So I come up like this, and I do like kind of an arc like that here. Here's this, all kind of coming up there. There's my mid finger right there. So if I go like that, like that, like that, and like that, right? And then this is going to come over here, so that thumb is going to be up a little bit like that. And then I find those pads again, right? So in theory, I can do this in any angle, right? So if I take that, bring that forward like this, so I'm basically just drawing that box in perspective. This is a 1-point perspective. I've got a knuckle here. I'm going to divide this. I've got a knuckle here, I've got a knuckle here, and I've got a knuckle here. I'm going to round that off. This comes out. I've got my thumb knuckle right there, right? If I extend this out from here, from my midpoint, I'll have one finger there. Extend this out from the midpoint. I have one finger there. Extend that out from the midpoint. Extend that out from the midpoint, right? So I might have to come forward a little bit, like that, like that, like that, and like that, right? And I can get rid of this. I can again kind of round that off. If I take this arc all the way over here, I know my thumb is going to have to be there, right? So I can take that and I can elaborate that then if I've got, let's say I've got my palm here, right? And I've got a 3/4 of my palm here, and I want to do a fist. So then I go like this. I'm like, okay, boom, there. I've got one knuckle there, one knuckle there, one knuckle there, right? So if I want to have that fist kind of come forward like this and into here, so then I have to delineate, okay, there's 1 digit, there's 2 digits, and then there's 3 digits right there, right? Actually, I am going to get out of that a little bit. I'm just going to try and bring that down a little bit. I think I got a little bit too vigorous there with that arc. So if I've got, oops, I went out a little bit too much. That's fine. So I go here, so I've got 1 knuckle here, 1 knuckle here, 1 here, and 1 here, right? I want to have that kind of come forward like this. Okay, so this is my first finger. Say that's my pinky right there, right? So I've got this knuckle delineating this finger. This knuckle back here is going to delineate this finger. I'm going to come down like that, right? This knuckle, I've got to pay attention to the knuckle in the background, comes forward and delineates that finger. This last knuckle here is going to come forward and delineate that finger right there, right? So I could tuck this in a little bit more, right? So this is the finger that we're seeing, obviously, because it's in the front. So we're going to make that. And then this knuckle, this finger is the next. I'm going to bring that down. Then comes this finger there. Then this finger is going to be my last finger. If I've got my thumb kind of wrapping around and say I'm going to have that be right there, it's going to come up here, up like this, and over like that. So then my thumb is going to sit in the front like that, right? And so I can erase some of that internal detail there because I've already built that, and I can kind of concentrate a little bit more on this thumb in the foreground, and then I can always kind of build it and I can always kind of refine it from there, right? But as long as I've got that structure underneath, and that's what we're talking about, that basic structure of the hand where you've basically got it divided here, here. You know where your knuckles are, right? If you have an understanding of where those knuckles are, then in theory you could take that and you could place that in any angle and you can still have accuracy. I see a lot of people that want to draw the outline of things, so they start off where they're like, okay, cool, I'm going to have the thumb here and I'm going to have this kind of come up and I'm going to have this and then this, and then in the process of doing this, if they're only thinking about the outline here, then their structure underneath can get a little bit wonky, right? So what you want to do is you want to pay attention to that structure underneath. You want to pay attention to that structure. These got a little bit away from me here. But you could take that hand and you can place it in any angle, you know. So if I've got that same kind of thought of going away, if this hand is going away from me here, and I have that idea of the structure, and I'm like, okay, the distance between here and here is the same distance as between here and here, going back in perspective, right? Then my fingers might only extend to here. So my middle finger could be there, my index finger could be there, my ring finger, and my pinky, right? So once you get that basic construction down, you can be like, okay, cool, I know that my thumb goes out here, and then my thumb is going to have to abide by this, so then my thumb is going to come out to there, right? So in theory, if you understand the basic mechanics of the hand, it should be fairly easy then to extrapolate that into any angle. but I do have a lot of students that have difficulty with this. Okay, so we're going to keep this to 10 minutes. Again, my name is John Brown, and this is a tutorial on the hand. More to come later. Thank you very much.